Hello and welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland. This is an Arsenal podcast by happy Arsenal fans. Gunnar Gimli is not here this week. He's currently on the run somewhere in America chasing the big bright star in the sky because the sun is actually a star, people. There you go. Who knew? All right, first of all, we have returning for his first podcast of the season, the Right Reverend Raj Patel. How you doing, son?
How you doing, Danny? I'm all right. How's things?
They are tickety-boo, as the legend that is Billy Connolly likes to say.
Are you happy? You're not ranting these days or anything? Have you had a good summer?
I've what summer? Is it summer? Oh, I've had a good June, July, and August.
We had 4 days of heat, didn't we? We had 4 days of heat.
Yeah.
And we all thought we would all melt, and then since then it's been a bit rainy and stuff. But
it's absolute shit, and I hate living in this country. I need to live somewhere warm. I can't cope with it anymore.
Yeah, well, I can't say much about that, you know. I love London summers. I've got to say, I love London summers. The whole city empties out. You can travel about without any problems. It's good to see some friends and stuff. And I always take my holidays kind of like in the winter when it's colder and stuff like that. So I do love London summers.
You get a lovely summer's day in England. Not too hot, not too much of a breeze. Driving around with the roof down, you won't find a better country in the world. But the rest of the time, yeah, it's just depressing.
Yeah, absolutely. Who we got on tonight then?
Well, secondly, we have FK. FK, thank you very much for joining us. You missed last week's show. How are you, FK?
Yeah, thank you very much. Really great to be back here.
Raj, is that you?
Yes.
Has FK let us down again?
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He'll be on next week, though, don't worry.
But we've got someone better on, haven't we, tonight? Yeah.
Hold on, let me just check. Let me go through the script.
Oh, no,
4 minutes, 36 seconds. Announce that Geoff is here and sound surprised. Oh, Geoff's here. That's a surprise. Wakey, Geoff.
No. Is there anything? Shall I just leave it and just let you crack on, you two, or something, or what? Poor old FK, eh? Wonder what's happened to him. Someone kidnapped him.
Well, he's now missed 6 shows in a row.
It's one of them wobs I kidnapped him, I fancy. Hold him for ransom.
Yeah, I think he's trying to...
4 packets of cheddars they want from you, Daniel boy.
Oh dear, I don't eat them anymore. They turn me inside out. It's I think he's going to try and break Gimli's record of missing half a season in a row. So Gimli will be back next week, though, people. Don't you worry. Tonight I'm going to be doing it slightly different because I don't have the hosting skills that our wonderful Gunnar Ginger short-toed Welsh Gimli has. So this is going to be more.
You should have told
me.
I could have hosted for you.
You
see, the problem is there's a race issue here.
There is. Unless you're Welsh,
you're not going to hand over any responsibility to the brown people.
Brown.
I think that's outrageous. Do you know what I mean? I'm only here to make you legitimate. That's what I think, anyway.
Did you know that when Sian was born, she was quite beige? Because I think we've got Italian blood in us. And then someone said to her mum, "Why have you got a brown baby?" That's true.
Oh, my God.
I know. We tan up a treat and our hair goes curly. So there you go. Write that down, people.
Not with this weather, mate. You won't, that's for sure.
No, I look like I'm from Iceland. I look like one of the White Walkers.
Freezing, mate.
Tonight. I can't wait.
I put the heating back on, sir.
I've got the halogen heater on ever since I got up at 5:30.
Not wrong. Raj has had it on since May.
I did have it on last week. I've got to say, it was so cold. I had it on for a couple of hours. It's been one of those weird summers. How's your summer been, Geoff?
Yeah, bang on. I've been away. Plenty of hedonistic stuff away in all these different festivals all over the world, mate. I've had a great time, I'm telling you. And I'm going away again tomorrow morning, going to Portugal for, I think, 5 or 6 days. So, you know, when there's no sun here, I like to get away, if I can.
I'll just turn another bar on the heater.
Very nice.
I did go out for dinner 3 times last week, though. Cost me 260 quid for 3 times.
Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Nando's.
Actually, you got one right. I've never been. And that first one we went to was what's that place? It's I always think of Friar Tuck, but Toby Carvery. We went there. Me, Sian, her mum, and Moomin. We went there. That's pretty good. That cost about 60 quid for the 4 of us. And then we went and took our nephews, or Sian, my nephews, George and Max. Me and Sian and her mum took them up to Nando's. Never been there before. Always avoided it. Thought it'd be a shithole full of chavs. So I was quite surprised. Nice food, nice place, and it was in Huntingdon.
I'd like to get away with 60 quid at a restaurant with my lot. They're so guzzly, mate, and they won't let me you know, I don't know. It's very difficult.
First thing I say to
difficult.
Sean is no fucking cocktails or mocktails. I'm not paying 12 quid for some in a glass. It's not happening. No way. And then we went to this place called the Ettlesleigh, and that was 100 and there was me, Sean, George's mum, George's boyfriend, Julian, and a West Ham fan. Ignore him. And I think that was 126 quid for the 5 of us. For 4 of us. And then the entire restaurant was full of flyers all night.
The problem is, Dan, you can't even do a runner, can you?
Well, I couldn't because it was uphill to get out of there. I'd have got part way up the uphill bit and I'd have gone back again. As those that would be in the van and driving off, I'd be knackered.
Are we just talking absolute bollocks? There's none of us want to talk about the Stoke.
Well, there's fuck all else to talk about, mate. To be honest with you, mate, to cheer us up a little bit.
Tell us about the Stoke game. Go on.
Oh well,
let's interest our listeners for a little while before we veer off.
I just cannot believe how we got beat in that game. But at the same time, it's like the 20th time I've watched a game like that in the last 7 years. With regards to, we had all the play, battering them really. 80% possession, I think it was, but then we got caught on the break, and poor pass from Xhaka. But the most criminal thing about it is, and then he follows the ball in like an amateur, like a Sunday player. He follows the ball in. There's a great big space behind him. They break through. Monreal trying to play offside in the penalty box, near on the 6-yard box, tries to stand out. Harry just don't see the player out. Get his body in. Make the player work for a shot on goal. It is unbelievable, but it's mad what happened. And having said that, we had plenty of time to go on and repair the damage that we'd created for ourselves. But poor old Danny Welbeck, mate. I mean, I like him. I really, really do like him. I like his work rate. I like his energy. I do like his touches and stuff.
But he doesn't score goals, Geoff, does he?
You put him in front of goal and he snatches at everything.
He's useless. Honestly, £16 million. Bloody hell.
Gets a touch of the Walcots, doesn't he, if he thinks too much?
Yeah.
Geoff's spot on. His work rate's fantastic. And he does a lot of work on that pitch, but we're not paying him to do that, really. I don't think that's a justification for putting him in the team. He doesn't score goals. He had so many chances. You put the refereeing decisions to one side, put the offside goal to one side. We all know that wasn't offside. We all agree on that.
Yeah. But wasn't offside.
It wasn't. It wasn't offside. I don't think.
Well, do you know what the rule about that is?
We had enough chances. We had enough chances to win that game, and it's just bizarre, really. I just don't know what's going on. I mean. And one thing that Arsene Wenger, I have to admit that he did say the right thing. He said that team was good enough to win that game.
Yeah.
And it was. We've got a team that's good enough to win a game, but I don't know what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of talk about, 6 players still haven't signed a new contract. They're on their last year or whatever, whether that's affecting morale or there's a lot of talk. I've got no idea. I mean, it's all speculation.
But we had all the game. We had plenty of play. A lot of it was slow and ponderous again. But it is a problem when you play teams like Stoke and the likes of Stoke. Unless you score first, then you are up against it, mate. Because the longer it goes on, the little bit more anxious and nervous we get. And only take. The problem is with Arsenal.
This should be a long list.
No, yeah, no, but it seems that we're too fucking easy to score against sometimes. You've seen so many games like that where we've murdered teams and they'll go up the other end and score a goal and then we're under the hammer even more. And again, the anxiousness comes in and, it's just unbelievable. I spoke to someone today at the club. I said, is there a reason why Wenger left, why he didn't play Pearl or why he didn't play Rob Holding? And it come back that he was giving Holding a rest because he didn't have a blinder against Leicester. I think he gave the goal away, didn't he? One of them goals when he gave the ball away. And he thought that Jesse was going to play, and he was a little bit worried about Per 1-against-1 straight down the middle against that Hesse. Now, whether he's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. But like he said. The players that was on the pitch should be capable. I've had loads of chats on Twitter about when people say, well, he shouldn't play 2 left backs or 2 right backs or playing players out of position. Now, I do get that, but you are playing Stoke, and you should. Those players, if you're a defender, you're a defender, right? Although, having said that, he does look out of sorts on the left hand side, doesn't he? Hector Bellerin, Raj.
What was with that? Why did he put him there?
What do you think about all this, Danny?
Well, I mean, one thing that I wrote this down because I thought it was a good point. For they have the ex-referee who commentates, who gives his decision. He says the Lacazette goal was offside because, and this is a quote, if any part of the player's body that can legally touch the ball is offside, then it's offside. But then Steven Gerrard said that the defender's shoulder was further back than Lacazette's heel. And he said, no, the shoulder isn't a part of your body you can touch the ball with legally. And he said, so it was. And he says, so how did he tell it that from that distance? And he went, well, he must have guessed. Because there's no way. And if the Bionic Man wouldn't have seen that with his eagle eye, the little twiddly thing at the back of his head, if he wouldn't have seen that, but he just guessed it. And he said partly it might have to do with the fact that there was a different colour boot. Now, if they'd have had the same colour boots on, like I'd make all my players wear with black boots.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to guess. You're not supposed to guess. No. And he could have only guessed that. He definitely guessed it. There's no way in the world he could have seen that. I don't care.
It's a little bit like the Formula One recently when you had Bottas, when his reaction time was 1/100th of a second away from when the lights went out. And they traced it back and did some diagnostic of it and said, well, from the moment he'd have released the brake to go to the moment that he would have gone was like 0.5 seconds, but he went in 0.1 seconds, so he anticipated it, and that must have been what the referee did. He anticipated it. Exactly. But I mean, why would you play Bellerin? I mean, we all come out and look. First of all, Wenger is playing two left backs, one of which has only ever played 2 games for the club. Kolasinac is, I think that's the first time and last time I'll ever say that correctly. Why the hell he's playing at centre back? That's not his position. I would have started with Mustafi, Pear and Holding, because 3 of those will have played together last season. When you look at Holding and Pear in the FA Cup final, that was a thing of beauty. Czech was hung out to dry so often, and it's a sign of a manager losing the plot when you start playing the wrong players in the wrong positions. Because Bellerin, he's not even partly left-footed, is he? He's only right-footed, and the Ox is the one who is left and right-footed. I've got no idea why he did it.
It's strange.
I'm lost for words.
I can't understand why he didn't put Iwobi out there worst way. I just don't understand it. He did make a mistake there. But again, he sees the players on the training pitch. They set up like that in training, obviously to work it out. It baffled me, but we did have enough on the pitch. We should have beat them. It's amazing how we never beat them. It's just amazing.
That bloke Hesse has been in the country since Tuesday, and he's already got Arsenal's number. How ridiculous is that? I mean, last season he spent most of his career at Real Madrid, his boyhood club, and then he was sold to PSG for 22 million at the beginning of last season. He played 9 games for them and scored 1 goal. And if you score 1 goal in 9 games in 261 minutes in League One, then you're not a very good player. Then he goes to Las Palmas, who had a half-decent season in Spain. He got 3 in 16 games. Comes over here, plays against us, bish, bash, bush, 71 minutes, 1 goal, good night, see you later, job done.
Yeah, but
how can a player pick that up so quick? We're just a shambles.
No. In fairness, the trouble did come down our right-hand side. They only had 1 decent attack, didn't they, really? Let's be fair. That was the only chance they had.
They had 11 shots. And they had 4 on target, 5 off target. We had 18, 6 on target, 6 off target, and 6 blocked. I suppose, Raj, you should mention the fact that Jack Butland, yet again, it's the curse of when Arsenal play a team. Their goalkeeper has an amazing game. What a young player he is. And people were saying, that Man United or Chelsea need to get him for backup. Fuck getting him as backup. Get him in as number 1. He got a star man of the match, 8.9 rating, and he was outstanding the entire game.
I think he's got to be the England goalkeeper, mate, that Butland.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I see no reason why not. But it's just so frustrating, isn't it? It's just so frustrating. It's just I don't know. We're just gonna have to. But again, we've got everybody on Twitter then screaming the track down and calling blood again for Wenger. I
don't know. Not as much as I don't know.
I did see loads of it, mate.
I'm finding it a lot different this time around. Actually, I'm finding it just kind of.
Honestly, people are just finding any single excuse to. It's the same lot that want him gone. And listen, I understand they want him gone and they don't want to change their mind. It's fair enough, but any single reason at all. I mean, you see it in when we win games. Even I see people slating him off. Why he shouldn't have played him there. We got lucky. Blah blah blah. You know,
there's an extreme element, Geoff, on either side, and I've been part of that. I have to admit, but there's an extreme element on either side that will always harp on about whatever their beliefs are when it comes to Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah,
and that's never going to change. But I follow a lot of just average, just regular Arsenal fans. And I'm sensing more kind of indifference and a little bit of apathy now, and kind of just going. I mean, you know, I said to you the other day, I said I'm not going to take the bait anymore on Twitter. I've gone into this season for the first time in 40 years, with zero expectations. I've started every season off, you know, waking up. You know, remember last year when we met up at the Liverpool game, we were all both excited like little school kids, weren't we? But now I'm just going to go to games. I've got, you know, good mate of ours, John. He's in the same block as me now, and we're going to meet up. We're going to have a drink, have a pie, and watch the football, and
see what happens, and not really worry about the consequences. And for the first time, you know, I felt a bit freer in some ways. I went to the Leicester game. It was great. If we win, it's a bonus. If we lose, well, you know, I'll still be alive tomorrow. You know, I'm not going to get worked up about it. And maybe that's what's happening to a lot of Arsenal fans, is because, you know, this catalyst for change was promised, but isn't really going to happen. People go, well, there's no point me moaning on about it anymore. The manager's signed 2 years. You can't do anything about that. The team, we don't pick the teams, and you know, we've got no involvement in the club whatsoever. So you might as well just turn up and go to the games and have a bit of a laugh, you know. And if we win something, great, and if we don't, then it's not the end of the world, you know. There isn't that. I don't know whether it's a good thing though to have that kind of feeling now, you know, that you know, a slightly lack of passion about the club itself. So no, I don't believe that.
I felt. That's what I felt. Have you noticed that, Danny, or is it just me that noticed that on social media?
To Gimli, because he knew he was going to be away today, because he's one of his best mates is over to going out for dinner. So he kindly set up a few polls. And oddly that you mentioned in this, one of them was, are you Wenger in or Wenger out? 2,253 votes. And that's a pretty sizable response. In, 40%, out 21%, don't care anymore, 39%.
Yeah, it's telling, isn't it?
Doesn't that sum it all up? And
that 39% would have been more on the outside maybe 4 or 5 months ago. But you know, we've all had a summer. We've seen what's happening. Yes, we've bought Lacazette, which is great, and I think he'll do well and give him some more time. But it looks like he's very, very good. We haven't done much else apart from Colossal Snatch. I've got to call him Colossal Snatch because that's what Manaman called him in the BT highlights the other day.
That's what Manaman is.
Yeah, he's a Colossal Snatch. So,
what you was talking about though, Raj, was you know that I've been doing that for about 7 years now. I'm going there not expecting. You know, because I don't expect us to win the league. You know, we have got a chance in one of the cups. I think we've gone back to being a cup team because of obviously the might of Chelsea and City and everything else. Obviously, having better players than us, whether they perform better than us is a different kettle of fish. But they start out with a better squad than us because they've just got better players. So, and I think to myself, well, you know, I don't fancy we're going to win the league this year because of that. And, you know, I've enjoyed it. You know, and people think, he's not passionate. You don't show no ambition, blah, blah, blah. What a lot of bollocks. You never heard anything like it, honestly. I'm still passionate about Arsenal. But I just enjoy the game. I still enjoy the game. And I don't let it ruin, just because, you know, I'm upset when we get beat, but I don't go into it. Of course, I'll go into thinking we're going to beat Stoke. And, of course, I think we're going to beat Leicester. Right? But, you know, when push comes to shove, I still make sure I enjoy the game as much as I possibly can. And even if we get beat, I still do enjoy watching a game of football.
I think that's what a lot of fans are starting to do now, because they're you know, we're all forking out quite a bit of money, and to get value out of it is to make it even more of a social experience than it ever was. You know, because I mean, I was a strange fan in some ways that I just go to the game and get worked up for 90 minutes and stress and all that, and then go home and then stew and all that. Now I just turn up and have a bit of a laugh, you know. And I just get a feeling that a lot of fans are thinking that, call it indifference or zero expectations or apathy or whatever it is. That's what's happening, and I think it will carry on.
I've gone back to
my timeline is a lot quieter now after defeat than it ever was. And as I said, you've still got the same people, the same group of people that still moan and stuff, but you know, you your other fans, they're kind of just resigned to where we are now. That's what?
We've gone back to the days before Wenger, in the in-between when we used to win cups and leagues. It was like, I'm still going to go over there, still going to enjoy the game. We don't really expect anything, and you enjoy it better. If you do well, so to speak, then you'll enjoy it even more. I don't, the level of expectancy needs to drop a little bit, in my opinion.
That's
well, I think it is.
Yeah, the board go and every summer, we're gonna. There's no reason why we can't bid 130 million for Mbappe. We're gonna get what's his name? Lamar, we're going to go and get him for 60 million quid. Every summer the board or someone at the club is told to go out there, and much like when an agent is touting up one of their players, they're going to tout up the fans, tout up the media. Oh yeah, we're going to go and sign this player. They never fucking do it, do they? Everybody and his cat knew eventually we'd end up with Lacazette. He had Arsenal written all over him from 2 seasons ago. Plus, I don't think anyone else came in for him. But like you were saying, Geoff, we don't start the season off on a high because compared to some of the other teams, because Man City go, player ABC, right, how much do you want? Here's the money, thank you very much, job done. Man United doing exactly the same. In fact, they're paying over the odds. Chelsea are a little bit like us. I think Abramovich isn't overly keen on spending too much money, because remember when Conte started there last season, Conte was saying that he didn't get all the players that he wanted, and again Conte is saying that I want these players and I haven't got them, and they've had someone like Kurt Zouma. What a bloody player. How is he allowed to leave the club for a season? And you've got all these other players, so we're not the only ones that are doing it. But it's just straight. I mean, Wenger must think, oh my God, when the game starts, the moment we even if we lose the toss at the beginning of the game, that's it, they're on my back. He can't win. I mean, I put that loss down to one simple thing, really. Jack Butland being a hell of a goalkeeper, and that's it. Other than that, if he wouldn't have done, we had 6 shots on target. That's normally enough to win a game. We should have won that game 2 or 3-1. And they had one half decent attempt, and that was it. They looked shocking most of the game. Yeah, it's true.
So true. And I read
that John 71% possession, like you were saying.
Yeah, John Cross said that they was they look really, really well, Stoke. Honestly, I know I like Crossy, don't get me wrong, but fuck knows what game he was watching, mate. Honest to God. But, it is what it is, isn't it? And we've just got to carry on. Liverpool next weekend, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. And they're another team where you get the feeling that Jurgen Klopp hasn't brought the players in that you wanted. Everybody knows they need a new a new goalkeeper, 2 or 3 central defenders, a new left back and a new right back. They need the entire of that team. What do they go out and get? Oh, we're going to go out and get ourselves another striker or something. And they've got their heart set on Virgil van Dijk, who's going to be £60-odd million. But Southampton said, look, unless you're going to wear Draper on the front of your kits and change your kits to red and white stripes, you're not having any more of our bloody players. Fuck off. And they've actually made an official complaint about it, didn't they? Because they've had so many of them.
Yeah, it's true.
That's still to play out, I think. I think there's a few stories out there still to play out. We've got another, 10 days of the transfer window, so I still expect a few dramatic kind of announcements and stuff like that, and I just can't see how Klopp's going to get to that transfer window without buying a couple of extra players. But that's Liverpool. Who gives a shit about them,
And Chelsea as well, and Spurs.
And Chelsea, Tottenham have just started opening their wallets, haven't they? So we'll see what happens over the next 10 days.
I think we'll still bring.
I'll tell you what, Geoff. What about Sanchez? We got 10 days to make a decision about him, or is he going to? Are we going to sell him in the next 10 days, or is he going to stay here and then rot?
Unless they get a massive bidding from a European club, I think he'll stay and he'll play, because he's not that type of guy that's going to stay and won't have his heart in it. He loves playing football, doesn't he? Plus it's a World Cup year, and I think they're going to have to suck it and see what happens. It's going to keep him. I mean, he's allegedly wanting nearly £400,000 a week. Now, I don't get me wrong. I think he's a fantastic player. He's undroppable. I don't think he's worth £20 million a year. I'm sorry.
I think, you balance that up against, will he get us into the Champions League next season, and will that be worth the extra money of keeping him and letting him go at the end of the season on a free?
Danny, it doesn't end
there.
That's
what they're talking about.
It doesn't end there, though, does it? You get all the other players that are on, £100,000. They're going to come in and say, well, hold on a minute, he ain't £300,000 better than me. I want a little bit more. And then all of a sudden you're talking, if 15 players come in, all wanting a little bit more, that's where the money goes. And people are already worried about the price of tickets and all that. Eventually they'll just put the ticket prices up again, and we'll suffer. Everyone else suffers. We've just gone 4-1 up against Man City in the under-23s, by the way.
4-1.
Yeah, battering the life out of you.
Jack Wilshere had a hell of a game last time when we were 2-0 down, came back to win 3-1, 3-2.
Playing well here, mate. I'm watching it.
Yeah, so who else is just going to go and refresh the page? Because Eddie Nikita had got 2 goals. Wilshere had an assist. Reece Nelson had a goal. No, this page hasn't updated yet. But that's something I was looking at. You were saying about the wages. I've just been going through and doing a database, which is very sad of me, of every player for the last 10 years and how much they've been on roughly. You know, it's never completely certain. But Wenger has got a pay rise this season of £40,000 a week extra. He's now on, if he's on that 10 grand, he's now on £190,000 a week, which is 50 more than anyone else, because I think Ozil's on 140 and Sanchez is on 130 or 140. But our wages last season, 195 million. Before that, 180, 166, 154, 143.
Where did you get that from, though, Dan?
Some of it was Swiss Ramble. Some of it was Angry Phil of N5. So nothing's ever 100%.
Is it playing staff wages, or is it wages in total? That's sort of the bugbear is. You know,
I think from the Swiss Rambles one, it was the entire club.
Yeah, well, that's what you're saying. You can imagine how many people are on and what other salaries they got. You know, people that work at the stadium and you know, all different places. You know, it's difficult to work out. That's why Arsenal never release. You'll never find out what Arsenal players are actually earning. It's all
you never know whether that includes goal bonuses, appearance bonuses, whether it's going to be image rights. I think that's going to be part of the deal. While we are going to see if Sanchez signs a new deal, it's going to be for a hell of a lot of money, because from what little I know, I'm sure Steve and Fife have spoken about it, that will mean that Arsenal keep his image rights, and so his wages will go up by a shitload because he doesn't have them anymore. I think that may be the way they're going, but you'd have to listen back to old podcasts to. Do you know anything about that, Raj?
Absolutely no idea what you're going on about.
No, nor do I.
I'm just worried about Sanchez. If he does, what happens if he, I don't know, say a European team A come in with 75 million, we sell him. I don't know. That's just going to cause. It's going to cause a lot of people's piss to boil. I'll tell you that now.
Get Draxler.
I reckon we'll be worse off then, even with Lacazette in the team.
If it's PSG, Geoff, would you have Draxler in exchange plus some money?
I don't know.
Don't know about that.
Honestly, I don't know, mate.
I mean, Draxler is only 23, German international. He plays on the left-hand side, or he can play. He's the same as Sanchez, where he can play left, right, or in the attacking midfield slot. And I like him. He's a really good player. He was when he was at. Was it Dortmund?
Dortmund. No, it wasn't Dortmund.
Whichever one it was. Wolfsburg. Yeah, when Wolfsburg bought him, they think they paid about 34 million for him, and then for some reason he ended up going a year later to PSG for 33 million because they kept fucking around with the deal. And there was, something, again, I don't know what it was, but a player like that is going to go for that amount of money. You think, well, now that's bugger all for that player. So if we have to pay, say, 40 million for him, 45 million for him, and then get another 20 million in exchange, but again, people are going to be looking. Sanchez has only got what is it now? So you've got September, October, November. You've got 4.5 months, and Sanchez can start talking to other clubs on January the 1st, 2018.
What's worrying, though, about Draxler is he's had 3 teams in 3 years or something, isn't he? There's got to be something in that. You know,
I think PSG wanted him, but now PSG have got Neymar. You can't, who is more kind of a left-sided player. Well, Neymar plays wherever he wants in that league. Playing in goal, he'd still score a hat-trick every week. But yeah, they don't really need him because they got their Neymar. And even though FFP is out the window, I think you've got to a certain extent try and look like you're trying to go with it, because it's not even finished yet, is it? Because Monaco have told PSG that if they want Mbappe, they can have him for 180 million quid.
Raj, do you not persevere with Iwobi? I mean, am I the only one that believes in Iwobi?
I'm 50-50, mate, to be honest. I'm 50-50 on a lot of the players at the moment. So, I think if Ozil left the club, I don't think it would make any difference whatsoever to our fortunes this season, to be quite blunt. To be honest,
I just think... said about Ozil, Keown, and this is another quote from Keown, Arsenal can't afford to carry Ozil.
Yeah.
Says it all, doesn't it?
Well, you remember I said that. We can't carry passengers anymore. And unfortunately, listen, he's a baller. He's one of the best midfield players, ability-wise, in the game still at the moment. But I don't know what it is, whether it's the Premier. I do think it's the Premier League, just 10% too fierce for him. Oops, Jack looks like he's going to get sent off here.
Oh, no.
Sorry, It's all right. Anyway,
let us know if he does.
He's lost it. Oh, he's lost it. He's fighting people.
Is he?
Oh my God!
Has it all gone McGregor?
Someone's clattered into him from behind. He's got up, had the hump. He started pushing him about. Then another Man City kid's coming. It looks like he's going to get sent off, mate.
Well, we're 4-1 up. Nikita's got 2, and Reece.
I know, but it's mad.
2.
What does he get banned for that? Oh, it's a straight red. Fucking hell.
Oh, there goes his Arsenal career again. Just as he's making a comeback.
He was a clattering, by the way.
Oh,
took
Lord.
clattering. Oh, fucking
He headbutted him as well.
Yeah, kid's gone straight through him. Look. Oh, anyway, whatever.
At least he got up.
He got up. He looked
He's
like
not laying there with his leg in bits.
He's offering people out. He wants to take them off the pitch. Come off, he said. Come on, look. Oh, he's mad.
You know who I am.
Oh, mad. Anyway, sorry, what was we talking about?
Ozil.
Ozil, yeah, Ozil. Lovely player, but I think maybe the Premier League is 10% too fierce for him. You know, he likes to be able to get on the ball and you know, just to have a little bit of time to create something. We're not getting the best out of him. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why it is, but we're not getting the best out of him, and that is an issue because he really is defensively. He's a passenger. He's a passenger.
But is it down to the uncertainty over his contract as well?
No, he's been like that since day one, hasn't he?
Raj, honestly, you know, when you go as a footballer, right? When you go out on the pitch, you forget about everything else. Trust me, you just want to concentrate on the game. You don't think of nothing else but the game. That's in my opinion. You know, you don't worry about contracts and all that shit. You play the game, you play your 90 minutes, and you know, you try and do as best you can for the team that you're playing for. You know, and most of all for yourself. But he struggles. He has been struggling. You know, he don't seem to be creative. He's not been playing like when he first come into the team, and I don't know why that is. It's difficult.
You must think it, like I was saying on I think Pete Saguna or someone like that I was talking to on Twitter said it's just because Ozil's on another level from everybody else. It'd be like, remember when Bergkamp, some of the stuff he used to pull off when he was surrounded by other players. It's that kind of problem where he must, when he's playing with Sanchez, someone who is legitimately on his level, he must. I think that brings out the best in him. But when when Sanchez isn't in the team and he's thinking, oh God, if I give the ball to that Welbeck one more time, and he puts it in Rowe's head, oh Theo's there, and there's no. Why I might as well just give the ball to the goalkeeper because both of those idiots are just going to miss.
Well, you know Bergkamp when he used to play, and he's you know. Some of the players that he had was quite ordinary as well, but he used to bring the best out of them because he'd do their thinking for them. He would pass the ball where they're supposed to be. Yep. You understand me?
I did.
Well, you know, and that's what Ozil's got to do. He's got to bring everybody together. He's got to run the game. He's not running the game, and I don't know. I'm not sure whether he's got it in him in the Premier League. Honestly,
is Sanchez back next Sunday?
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully.
I think he'll be back, won't he? He should be back.
Talking about Sanchez, another one of Gimli's polls. Should Alexis Sanchez go? And if he did go, do you think the money will be reinvested in the playing squad? 31% said yes, they think it would be reinvested. 60% said no, it won't be invested. And 9% said they don't know. Wow. And also on that...
time, have we? We haven't got the time. It takes us so long to sign someone these days.
Yeah. Would you give him, Raj, would you give him the 400 grand? Down all circumstances with regard to, you know...
Well, it depends whether you think that with him in the team, he's going to get us into the top four, which is all, which, you know, without being horrible and negative and all that, is all what we're playing for, I reckon, this season, is to try and get into that top four. So if you think he's going to get us in the top four, we are going to generate a lot more money in the Champions League, and therefore the money we pay him might well be worth it. That's my reckoning. So,
what do you think, Geoff?
I just think we're aiming
20 million quid, Geoff. We're paying 20 million quid this year, but we'll if he gets us in the top four.
Oh, they're going to keep him, but we won't give him 20 million. We'll give him his normal wages, what he's getting. Or at the end, they're still trying to negotiate with him now. But if listen, people are moaning, blah blah blah. But you shouldn't. How you letting them get down to 18 months? You know the rules. You shouldn't let them get. If a player does not want to sign, there's fuck all you can do about it, mate.
What about Wenger? He took it down till after the FA Cup final. He was running on fumes on that contract.
And this is now, I think, how football is going. You'll see all these top players running their contracts down, and they know that they're going to generate 30, 40, 50, 70, 100 million pounds written into their players' wages the next time they have a trade. Next time they
I don't think you'll see 5-year contracts anymore as well.
Pointless.
I don't think I think you'll see 2-year contracts, 3-year contracts max.
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, you might be right there, Geoff. You know,
I think that's how it's going.
If you run your contract down, you can quadruple your salary just like that. Plus a massive signing on bonus.
Well, that's right. Well, didn't Lewandowski go for free? Didn't he do the same thing?
He did.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think that was the first one. And then Ibrahimovic he must have thought, fuck that, I can do that. I know he was 34 or something at the time, but United gave him 350 grand last year, a week. That's some money for a 34-year-old, isn't it?
They're looking at no transfer fee. Just looking at that, the Jack Wilshere got sent off. Tyreek Wilson got sent off, and Smith for them got booked all at the same time. But you know the way it works in South American football, Portuguese football, and to a lesser extent, it used to happen in Italian football. You'd have third-party ownership. Now with Neymar, everybody knows PSG didn't buy Neymar. Qatar gave Neymar the money, and then Neymar bought out his own contract and then went to PSG, who were owned by the Qatar, and Barcelona used to be sponsored by the Qataris. And how long before that starts happening? I know they stopped doing third-party ownership in Italy, where like 2 teams would go and buy a player, and then then they'd loan him out to one of those 2 teams, and they could buy 50% of him back. But in Portugal, you get it all the time. How about this? When Pato went back from playing in Europe, he went back to play for Corinthians in Brazil. A Brazilian supermarket paid his wages. And that's the kind of. How long will it be before players are owned by companies, not by teams? And they go, this season you're going to go and play at that club. Next season you're going to go and play at that club. But then they did bring in the rule to try and stop this many years ago. You can only play for 3 teams in any 12 calendar month period, or is it? No, I think it's 3 teams. You can't play for any more than 3. I think that's just the gist of it.
I think that was to do with the loan system as well, wouldn't it? But you look at it now. I mean, I think Messi's in the last year of his contract.
He'll just demand to leave, won't he? And then they'll go up, give you $1 million a week. I mean, Neymar's on 600 grand a week, and that's probably tax free. I mean, what do you do with that?
I fancy Messi's going to end up at Man City next year. I really do. Same thing again. That Qatar mob, they'll come in. He'll see his contract out.
I think he signed a contract.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It was Ronaldo who was going on about his contract.
Ronaldo signed a new one as well. He said, I want to leave tax reasons. I'm hated. I will give you a massive deal.
You've got to try and check that out, Danny. Whilst we're talking, you can tap away and check that out.
It's the global commercialisation of football. It's happening. It's happening at clubs with the fans and stuff. It's going to happen to the players soon enough. So these theories that you're bringing out, well, I mean, it could well be true. You never know.
But why the players are now thinking? The agents have wised up. They thought, fuck me, why are the football clubs getting all the money when the players are the ones that should be benefiting from it? So they're just running their contracts down. Flamini did it to us, didn't he? You remember?
He did that at was it Marseille? Then he did it with us. Then he did it with AC Milan, and then he did it with us again. And then Palace let him go. Just front page. One of the headlines on the Independent done 3 hours ago. Barcelona believe Lionel Messi and Andres Iniesta will sign new contracts, but institutionally they remain a mess. The Argentinian superstar agreed a deal months ago, but hasn't put pen to paper yet, while Iniesta is still waiting for proper discussions as the club treat him with a remarkable disrespect, and that is by someone called.
They're falling apart, aren't they?
They are.
It's great to watch.
Ed Mallon.
Yeah.
That's Ed Malin's work.
Fair enough.
A bit of a
good old
thing for that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so shall I go through some more of these questions that polls that Gimli's put out?
Go on.
Do you see Alexis staying? 56% yes, 33% no, 11% don't know. I'm not sure how you can be a don't know. Oh, is that Alexis now?
That's my daughter. God bless her.
Oh, yeah. My one's asleep. My one's been at V Festival for 3 days. She's come home and now she's in bed.
Oh,
knackered,
I bet she is. God bless her.
Stinking and covered in glitter. So, do you two think he's staying?
I think Sanchez will stay. Yeah, he'll stay for 1 year, but he's gone next summer.
Geoff?
Yeah. I think they're not going to give him the 400 grand or whatever he's asking for. No. So I think they'll keep him this year, and they'll just bite the bullet.
Year. He's 30.
Yeah, anything can happen in that year as well. Anything can happen.
there again, he might do what Steve McManaman did in his last season for Liverpool before he went to Real Madrid and did fuck all season.
But, you've got to have a look at it at the same time. For him personally, you've got to look at both sides. It is most probably his last big contract.
Yep.
So if he can extract massive money from another football team rather than, just sit at Arsenal, then you can't really blame him. If he goes to someone like Man City, they're buying top. I mean, is he going to get in there to start with, right? Or someone like Chelsea even? But they do have the firepower and the players, if they all played the right way, to go on and have a really, really good go at winning the championships or the Champions League. Whereas Arsenal, I don't think so this year.
No. Next question: would you like more?
Very
signings?
strange
of Geoff though to come out with.
Listen, it's all like Raj. It's a myth, mate. Trust me. You've spoke to me personally about all different things regarding that. Everyone thinks he's up Wenger's arse and he don't criticise anybody. It's all a bag of bollocks, mate. Honestly.
That's where I keep my bollocks.
There's a new Raj and there's a new Geoff tonight. We just need to find a new Danny now.
So we was 4-2 up, right? We was 4-1 up when Jack got sent off.
Oh dear!
It's now 4-2, and they've got a penalty, Man City, with 15 minutes to go. It's on us.
There is a kind of a new me, Raj. Do you remember Christmas 2012? I went in a wheelchair taxi to my brother's because I couldn't be bothered to drive the Merc down there because it was too cold. And Sean then was 5 years ago. Sean would only been about 13, 14. And trying to get me out of the car with an icy floor. I went, fuck it, we'll get a taxi down there. He went on the way back. He went over a speed bump too fast, crooked my neck. I heard my neck go like that. And ever since then, my neck has been flaring up every day to a certain extent. Sean's been away for the last 3 days. I was in the house on my own last 2 nights ago. I had a little bit of a Lana Del Rey playing.
Everton have just scored.
Everton?
Wayne Rooney.
Was that 1-0?
Oh,
yeah, 1-0.
Cup.
No, it's Premier League tonight.
League game. Oh, what a
fuck.
touch.
Oh God! Why am I watching Sky fucking News when I can have the fucking football on? It's a Monday, isn't it?
You're missing 2 games, Danny. You're missing the young kids.
I need sack. Anyway, the gist of it is, I'm in the house on my own. Lana Del Rey pumping out on the 5.1, and I thought I heard someone. I locked front doors, locked. The house is empty, and I thought I heard something behind me. I quickly turned my neck round to the left, and I heard a. And I went, oh fuck! And now my neck no longer hurts. So it's been like that for 5 years. So there's partly a new me, Raj, a new neck. So my neck doesn't hurt anymore. I'm moving it around with gay abandon.
So talking about new, so we got a new Danny, new Geoff, new Raj, and looking on the TV, there's a new Rooney playing. He just scored.
Didn't we all kind of realise that he would be wonderful?
Going on.
He's the main man at his new team because Jose didn't like him, did he?
No, Everton have done some good business this summer. I'm not suggesting whatsoever that they're going to get in the Champions League place and stuff. But I'll tell you what, they're going to take a lot of points off teams that are trying to win
them and Spurs.
I still think they'll finish 8th or 9th though, mate. 7th, 8th or 9th. No, I do. I think
they're a hell of a team.
7th, 8th or 9th, mate.
No, Man City, Man United, Chelsea top 3, and then Arsenal, Spurs, Everton battling it out for 4th, possibly Liverpool, depending, like Raj was saying, he can see something big happening there.
They're playing all right. They're playing some nice football, actually. But anyway, what were we talking about? New people.
Penalty. Did they score the penalty?
Yeah.
Was it 4-3?
4-3. It's on us, mate. It's on us.
Hell. Oh yeah.
More polls? You got any more polls?
Yeah.
We certainly do have more polls. So that one was: would you like to see more signings? 95% said yes. 5% said no. We've had quite a few screen grabs going. Who are these 5%? They're fucking idiots. That was 2,100 people. So I take it both of you agree with me that yes, we do want more signings.
We do, but I don't think we've got the time anymore. Yeah, the funny thing is every week on Twitter, for 1 week it's Lamar. Next week it's some guy called Seri. I'm not Chris, so I don't know these players. So if he says they're great, then they're great. But they keep changing their minds every week. And then Seri's now going to Madrid, I think. Lamar might be going to Man United. It makes me laugh where these names come up from and who starts these rumours off.
I'd like to know how the things go. They go, all right, Mr. Lamar, would you like to pop round? We'll have lunch. How much do you want to sign for the club a week? And he'll go 200 grand. You go, well, if you do 175, we'll sign you. Yes or no? No. All right, then see you later. Go to the next target. Not like oh dear, I just remembered a story someone told me that I can about the just watching Rooney. I'm losing watch. I think that's his 200th goal. Yeah, it's his 200th Premier League goal. Yeah, so he's only 31. I'm reading things. I'm reading about the next question. Yeah, so where were we? Go on. This is why I don't have football on, because I end up watching it and forgetting what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't know. We can crack away, mate.
All right, next question. Are you happy with the current Arsenal squad? 15% said yes. 74% said no. 11% said don't know. How can you not fucking know? Raj, you happy?
No,
fully
not
fit.
really. Not
fully fit
sorry?
and on form. Fully fit and on form. Are you happy?
Possibly, yeah, because Santi's the missing link at the moment, isn't he? If you're saying that Santi is fully fit, and Sanchez is going to be playing, Lacazette's going to be playing, then yeah, I'll be happy. I'm not saying we'd win anything, but I'd certainly be happy. But most of them are dead. I don't think we'll be buying anyone. So we've got what we got, and we just have to live with it, basically. Geoff?
You know what? I tell you how I see it. I was happy last year. And I think we're stronger than this year than we was last year.
How are we stronger?
I just think we are with it, Kalinic or whatever you call him.
Colossal snatch.
Colossal snatch. I just think that who else we signed? We signed anybody else? Lacazette, of course. So we've got a centre forward. He looks like he's a good finisher. I mean, the goal that he scored at the weekend that wasn't a goal. Fuck me, he snatched that away, didn't he? There weren't no pulling punches with him.
If that had been Walcott, it still wouldn't have come down.
That's right. It's just be flying over us right now.
It'd be up there with the eclipse.
So that's why I think we are. On paper we are a stronger team. Again, whether they can adapt that onto the football pitch, onto the green stuff, is another thing. The only thing that does trouble me is there's a lot of teams that have strengthened quite significantly than they were last year. Yeah.
Massively.
So that means, but I'm not sure Chelsea have really, though. Having said that, and I'm not sure Tottenham have, and they're two teams that finished above us. So I'm hoping that we can sneak in. I'm still hoping that we can win the Premier League, but I don't think we will.
Do you reckon United are contenders this year?
No, I don't.
No? Okay. Why is that?
That's West Ham and Swansea. No, come on, I don't buy it. Not yet. Let's get into October, see where they are.
They've got no hard games. The first 6 or 7 games of the season. But they again last season, didn't they win the first 3?
Yeah, that's right. They was flying last season. Let's just see what occurs. But they do look. They look like they've got a tougher spine, don't they? They look like they're quite strong down the middle. How the fuck Chelsea let Matic go for that kind of money?
That's unbelievable.
To a direct. Well, there's got to be something in that, surely.
I'm just watching the Wilshere thing. Oh, the bloke fucking slammed him.
Isn't it a terrible challenge?
And he shoves him over. Oh, and then the bloke pretends like he's been shot.
Yeah.
And then Jack's got someone else round the neck. Oh, no.
He's offering them all out by the time he goes off, honestly.
Go on, you two carry on. I'm going to shut up and watch this.
What was your last question? Are we happy with the squad? Well, yeah. I don't know. We've got to preface everything we say today, bearing in mind that we've only played 2 games this season, and there's another 36 to go. Anything could happen in the next 10 weeks or so,
Let's not go too overboard on.
Try and get a result against Liverpool. That'd be quite nice, because we've struggled a little bit up there in the recent years. So we need to focus for next Sunday, and then I think there's an international break, so we've got a week off, haven't we? And then I think it's the 9th of September is the next home game. So it's quite a while, quite a big gap. Yeah, Bournemouth. So
do you know we going into I'm thinking back going into the semi-final. I didn't think we'd had a chance. Going to the cup final against Chelsea, I didn't think we had a chance.
No, nor did I.
We're better off when we're going into it, and I'm thinking, fuck this, I'm expecting a defeat here. So no, and I don't really fancy us at Liverpool, especially after last weekend. Hopefully, the players can turn it on, and if they feel the same as what we do, and they're comfortable and they relax about it, and they get on the ball and express themselves and defend properly, we never know. But I'm not expecting anything again.
Well, Liverpool still got that Coutinho problem as well, haven't they? They don't know what's going on there.
They turned down 118 million.
You
could buy Liverpool for that.
114, but I see. I'm happy when clubs do that.
Yeah,
I think clubs have got to start saying no. So that's why I'm very happy that Arsene Wenger said, "I'm not selling Sanchez. We'll run it down if we have to." Fair enough.
What I want to see is when Usmanov takes over the club, I want him to get a Real Madrid kit, a Barcelona kit, and a PSG kit, urinate on them, set fire to them, and say, "Don't ever come after any of our players. Just let them know you can all go fuck yourselves. You're never having anything ever with us."
Yeah.
Because they need to be told. You cannot keep coming and stealing people's players.
Yeah, it won't happen though, mate. When they offer that kind of money.
Oh, too many wanky agents involved. So what other points? I made a list of a few things that we should have talked about. The penalty shout, where we had quite a few during the game. I think only one of them was a legitimate penalty, which Wenger could probably.
How can he not give that though? Fuck's sake! Come on.
Well, it all depends on what angle he's at and
leave off.
And whether he saw their boots and. What do you think then? Whose fault was it?
No, I think it's a blatant penalty, mate. If you could see the way.
Has to be.
He didn't even want to go down Bellerin because he was in on goal. He didn't. He'd want to dive. The guys clipped him. It's as simple as that. And it's just one of them games again where we never seem to get the rub of the green. It's incredible, mate. It happens all the time. It's always in these games where we get beat 1-0 or get beat by the odd goal, 2-1 or something like that. It's always a bit of controversy involved.
Who's been sent off for City?
Kyle Walker's just been sent off.
Has he really? Bless him.
He's now talking to the fourth referee or whatever his name is and complaining.
What was it? Well, he headbutt someone or something?
No, it was a second yellow card.
Okay.
Looked a bit nothing to me.
Weird thing that you got Kyle Walker has been sold from Spurs to Man City, and his replacement at Spurs, Kyle Walker-Peters. How weird is that?
There you go.
Is that his name, Kyle Walker-Peters?
Yeah.
It's like when we had two Gary Stevens, wasn't it?
I saw it on Twitter. A guy had a Walker Spurs shirt, and underneath it is written in Peters. So it's gone Walker Peters.
Looking at that sending off, I don't think Kyle Walker did much wrong.
No, he didn't do anything wrong. That was another big mistake from a match official. There you go.
I'm just looking at it in slow motion here. Kyle Walker's walking backwards onto him. Then the Man City, the Everton player pushes into him and then pushes himself over by using Walker as something to push himself off of. He didn't touch him.
No.
Well, that would be rescinded, but yeah, there you go. Another classic fucking.
Any more polls, Danny?
No,
questions?
that was it. While we're talking about that, what do you think to VAR, virtual assistant referee? A lot of people have been talking about that, whether they want it in the game or not.
Interesting.
Any ideas on that?
I don't know. I mean, I never saw. I've not even watched it. One decision, but the way when they've tested it. So, but apparently there's a few problems with it, isn't there?
Always would be with those new technologies. It's a bit like DRS in cricket. It took a while for it to settle down. So
that drag reduction system.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in F1,
decision review system.
Is that the thing where they go and then? Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of it on TV.
Yeah,
I watch a little bit of cricket every now and then, but I don't want it. I don't like it in there. I don't like the goal line thing. I don't like anything. All I would have is two referees on the pitch.
No, the goal line.
I like the human element of the side. I'm not into technology. I want referees, umpires, whatever sport, they make mistakes, and you just have to accept them. And sometimes they make a lot of mistakes in one game, and that's tough, But I like the human element in decision making. So
yeah, but the goal line, Raj, I think that's fair enough. The goal line, we can keep
goal line. I can pretty much live with. That's fair enough. But anything else, just leave them alone. I'm not into the DRS stuff in cricket, to be quite honest. I think umpires should make those decisions in the middle of in the ground, and not be overruled by some twat in a box with a video camera or a TV or whatever. So I'm a bit old-fashioned with that. I just like the human element in decision making in sport, and that includes football as well.
I like the idea, like American football have, where you have lots of referees and things. What I would have one linesman behind each goal. I would have two linesmen on each side that can then cross over, because when one gets to the halfway line, they're meant to go, oh, all right, there you go, you're one, you take it over. And I want two referees on the pitch doing whatever they want. You can have a senior referee, an assistant referee, or whatever you want to call them, give them some wanky fucking name, let them wear different colour shirts or anything. But then you'd imagine the amount of extra vision you're going to get if you've got two referees looking at the same decision, because it takes a split second for a fourth official, or another referee, like the one that the Sky and BT have in the stands. They're looking at it on a TV monitor. Now, if that referee, because they would know the angles, they would try and make sure that they're looking at every the ball, wherever the ball is, at different angles, so they get better views of it. And I think that's the way to go. But they're not going to do it because that make too much sense. But I don't want any electronical interference in football at all. You can get fucked. The game is meant to be slightly a game of chance.
Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. Sometimes you win them and sometimes you lose them. You can lose games on decision and you can win games on decision. And I reckon I know a lot of Arsenal fans keep going on about bloody referees. Every time we lose, someone's going on about the bad refereeing and stuff. But I reckon in the course of a season, it evens up in the end. We don't ever go on about the decisions that have gone in our favour in some games where if it had gone against us, we'd have gone mental. But since it's gone again for us, we just stay silent. So, I think it just evens up in the end, and that's why. When we played Stoke the other day, there were some bad decisions against us, no doubt about it. But I won't lose sleep over it in the end, because in the end, as we said half an hour ago, we didn't take our chances to win that game. And that is the reason why we lost.
But going back to that penalty quickly, 9 out of 10 times that would have been given. No, not the penalty, the goal we scored. 9 out of 10 times that would have been goal.
Yeah. But
unlucky. Then it would have been 1-1. Then people would be complaining that we only got a draw.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't win.
No.
Can't win. You just have to take it. See what happens next week. We might get a penalty when we don't deserve it.
Especially these early games. These early games are always tetchy, though. You see tonight, Man City getting beat by Everton. These early games. Look at Huddersfield. They've won 2 games on the spin. Yeah, these early games until everyone gets into their groove. It's very difficult.
Yeah, he was Klopp's assistant manager.
He's gone clear. Oh,
what's that? Still 4-3.
Is it Reece Nelson or Ryan Nelson? What's the left winger we've got now?
He's only I'm allowed to get names wrong, Geoff.
He's going to break through this year, mate. I'm telling you.
He is. And Nikita, another hell of a player. Right, let's just do a few of the listeners' questions. Right, one from Josh Robinson, 87. We might cover something that we've already talked about, so if we have, we'll just maybe cover it a little bit again. It says, was there anything more annoying on Saturday than us kicking the ball out of play for Stoke players on the floor? And what is your preferred formation for us to go with this?
No, don't ask me that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Well, I don't think
formation tactics. Do not ask Raj. God Almighty. Go on,
what's your view on the Stoke player laying on the floor? It's only meant to kick the ball out if it's a head injury. It wasn't a head injury. That bloke who was laying in our penalty area.
Jeff,
what do you think?
You're asking Geoff, aren't you?
Oh yeah, all right, Geoff.
He's
still there, Geoff?
No, he's gone.
No, sorry, mate. No, I beg your pardon. I was on mute. I beg your pardon. It happened 2 or 3 times, didn't it? And I was thinking to myself, fuck's sake, just get on with the game. And they were getting on with the game, but they weren't really. They was waiting for the referee. What are they waiting for? You understand me? Just get on with the game. You know what irritated me even more? Every time the ball went out, the Stoke City ball boys and ball girls was trying to walk the ball back, blatantly walking the ball back, wasting time. Instead of throwing it, they was trying to walk the ball back, but every time Stoke got one, they was throwing it back.
Can we get them booked for time wasting? That's what we need. To start booking them.
I've got to start giving them a slap and all that, mate, them young kids. Why not? I'm kidding, by the way.
Remember a few years ago when it was at a home ground
Chelsea.
And one of the ball boys ran up to get the ball, threw the ball quickly back to the opposition player, then he went down and scored, and the manager went mental because the ball boy was too quick. Was it Chelsea?
No, I do remember someone kicking out. Didn't they play Gillingham or someone or one of them teams? Oh, Swansea. Swansea. They tried to get the ball back, and the ball boy was holding it, and then he sat on the ball and all sorts. So he was trying to get. It was like a wrestling match, and I think it was Hazard come over.
No, that's it. Slapped him.
He was sitting on the ball, and he kicked it from underneath.
Got a ban for that, didn't he?
And it turns out that the ball boy was the Swansea chairman's son. Funny, really funny.
Oh, dear. Right, question for you, Raj. From Fred Thurbin. He says, Chambers, and do you know this person?
Fred, no.
Oh, right, you went, I thought it means, oh, no. Anyway, he says, Chambers and Pear don't seem to be trusted. Holding dropped, and stories that Mustafi is available for 35 million. I know Inter Milan were interested in him. What's happening to the defence?
Are we getting rid of Mustafi? We're not getting rid of Mustafi, surely.
It's been rumours. I mean, I've read a couple of things on Sky Sports saying that
we won't have any centre-backs left.
It's not going to happen. Forget about it.
It's not going to happen. No. I think Geoff was right. I think I would have played Pear on Saturday, and I would have played Holding as well. I don't think just because he had a relative, made a mistake in the game before, he should be dropped for it. In fact,
get dropped, you play through it.
Yeah, he's played every game though, hasn't he? I think that's what the problem is. Listen, you never. It's just very difficult, isn't it? People complain either way.
All right, here's one from the normal Gooner. Where's FK? Is FK gone again? Is he not here? Fuck it.
He's just gone for a piss.
Has he? Oh, right. Wash your hands when you're done. Yeah. I used the aloe vera, obviously. And he says, why haven't we bought anyone else yet? Now, I'm not sure whether he's referring to the podcast. Why haven't we got anyone else in yet? Or whether he's on about if he's on about the club, then I think we've covered that. And that's for the podcast. Well, we've put a few offers in. They've all been rejected. You've busted your allowance of custard cream, Danny. That's what the problem is. We might get Jock, Dan Jock, might get him on loan for a pod or two. That's and maybe Sim, because I'm hosting the radio show after the Liverpool game on Sunday.
So Chris, what's he, retired?
No, he's busy. He's working his arse off at work. He's doing the Hipsters pod. He's running his own Barbican Pirates team. He's decided that now that he's hit 40 odd, that he's going to become a new man. He's at the gym all day, every day.
I've seen.
Just busy man.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Well,
get him back on though.
He was saying today.
I'm now a bit of a Chris fan these days. I was anti-Chris for years, but
it's easily done.
Since he's become an alien, so now he's an alien and sci-fi buff. We've become good mates, and also, wasn't he the first one to go on about Lacazette 2 years ago?
Probably.
I'm sure it was. So it deserves every now and again deserves a little bit of credit for some of these names he brings up. Mbappe came from him as well.
Well,
he's becoming a little bit of an ITK. That Chris, I've seen as well.
Yeah, but he actually does know stuff.
That's a difference. Geoff. Oh, he can have it, mate. Honestly, I see the shit he gets as well. The poor fucker.
Yeah, that's why he's not been doing much of it lately. But we reckon Chris should be back maybe the end of September. Good. And Gimli should be back next week. But Gimli isn't going to be hosting every single show week after week like he has been for years. Because like Chris, you get burnt out after a while. So we've got lots of lovely people who are good at doing it. So I don't mind. I like it when I do it because it's I don't really host it. I like to have two other people on, and we go like Tuesday Club. It's quite simple, just not as funny or as
better rude. Off.
Yeah. Right. This is from Billy TW 1992. Why can't Arsene just get over himself and admit that admit that you have to spend a lot in today's game in order to progress and win major trophies? Raj, what do you think?
Well, maybe he's not been given the money. I don't know. I got. You know what? I tell you what. Does he look a bit more haggard these days than he ever was? He looks a lot
carrying all those wages, isn't it?
Well, he looks a lot weary and tired, and I mean, he looks very depressed and everything on Saturday, and he looks like he's 90 years old now. He's what, Geoff? Do you reckon he's?
Well, he's got to make himself his dinner and everything else. He hasn't got Annie looking after him anymore. That's what
do you think he's under a lot more pressure now than he was 12 months ago?
Well, I should imagine the brasses nowadays are a lot more money than there was 12 years ago, aren't they?
Give me a straight go. Go on, tell me.
I don't know. He does look like he's a little bit more stressed out and more troubled than he was a few years ago. Yeah, but can you imagine the man? Honestly, he must have balls of steel because of some of the abuse that he knows he's been getting abuse for the last 18 months now, 2 years. But some of the abuse that occurred last year, there was protests about him, Wenger out and no new contract and this and that. And then that gets down to the players and it gets down to the manager and everywhere else. It's a lot of pressure, mate. No wonder.
Do you think he's been upset by all the comments from the Arsenal fan TV mob?
I don't think he's ever seen a second of that Arsenal fan TV mob.
Oh, I'm only joking.
Yeah, no, of course. So,
in terms of buying, Danny, look, he's got money to spend if he wants to spend it, but I don't think he'll ever change. I think he'll always believe in himself and believe in the way he does things the right way, and that's not to go and spend £200 million and stuff. And unfortunately, though, it's probably the wrong way now because if you want to compete, if you want to be right up at the top, you're going to have to go out and spend £300 million. I don't think we've got that kind of cash. No matter what,
we're never going to do what Man United are doing.
No matter what the ASD tell you, we haven't got £300 million to spend on players. I don't think we have anyway.
Of course we haven't. And you say what you like, but it hasn't really served Manchester United that well. All right, don't get me wrong. They won a League Cup and they won 2 League Cups last year, really, didn't they? Let's be honest, right? The Europa League Cup and the Premier League Cup or whatever it's called. But they're not pulling up no trees. It's not what Man United want. Man United want to be in the Champions League and pressing on for semi-finals and finals and winning the league every other year. That's not happening. City the same. You see the money they've spent over the last 5 years or something. Mental money. So, and I don't buy into this thing that Wenger is scared. I mean, how many times you got to prove it? He'll spend the money if the players are right and they're for the right money. He won't just go mad and give mental. I mean, I still think £52 million is a lot of money for Lacazette at the moment. I hope I'm proved wrong, but that's the kind of money you have now got to pay.
Sorry, Geoff. I actually think £50 million is the norm. It's going to be the norm now.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot more. I just think the market value is so high now, so inflated, that buying 30, 40, 50 million pounds players is 2 years ago would have been surprised and gone, bloody hell, how can they afford that? But I think more and more teams will be able to spend that kind of money.
Well, 50 mil seems to be the new 20 mil, doesn't it?
50 mil is the new 20 mil. Yeah, it is, and it is, and we all got shocked by 89 million pounds for Pogba last year. Forget about how good a player he is or not. 89 million pounds shocked a lot of people. Now it's 114, 118. The hundreds are going to be. It's not going to be a surprise when players go for 100 million pounds, and it's happening now. And it's going to happen more and more often in the next 2 years. So that's where Arsene Wenger has to look at himself and say, well, if I want to keep up with the Joneses, he's going to have to spend that kind of money on a more regular basis. My small question is whether we've got that kind of money.
True. But it's going to be something we're going to be seeing a lot more of. Here's one for you, Geoff.
Yes.
From Nicky Wilson. Why do Arsenal and the supporters start the season still hung up on previous seasons? All the other teams get a clean, fresh start. Because you were talking about that, weren't you?
Yes. It's what we've been talking about already. I don't know. They've got to lower their expectations. We spoke about it. Thing is, I don't think they will. I think they want something to moan about. You see all these boys on. I'm not having a dig at AFTV. I don't mean to be having a dig on AFTV, but it's a coincidence that all the people on AFTV have now got their own YouTube channels, and they know that if they go on to Arsenal praising them, talking nice things about Arsenal Football Club, no one's going to watch it. So they've got to go on there, lambast them and pull them to pieces and everything else. I mean, I wouldn't do it. Just wouldn't. What's the point? I don't get it.
It's panto, isn't it? It's pantomime, most of it. Most of it's all bollocks. And
imagine that lot in our Invincible season. They'd go bankrupt. There'd be nothing to talk about. Exactly. Oh, fucking 49 games without a loss. That's a disgrace.
But you got to listen. You got to give it to Robbie. He set something up. He's put his money, his time, his energy into it. Yeah. And he's making a success of it. Good luck to the lad. But I don't watch it. I see clips every now and again that people put on Twitter. Yeah. I don't go out of my way to watch it because it's a load of old crap.
You were going to say bollocks then, weren't you?
I was going to say bollocks, Danny. Yes, it's true.
Right, here's one for you, Raj. This is from the wonderful Ellis Mel.
Oh, Ellis.
Ellis. I like a bit of Ellis. He's very dark.
Yeah.
He says...
that's racist.
It certainly is. He's a bit ginger. Is he ginger? No, it's the other one that's ginger. I get all the gingers mixed up. Is that racist too?
The other one. That's racist as well.
Jeez, we've got targets to meet. We've got to have a minimum of 3 gingers. So we've got Gimli, we got Shredder, and we got Josh. Josh lives in a cellar.
Jason's a bit ginger.
He is a bit ginger, but you can wait. We're meeting up on the 9th, aren't we? 9th of September.
Can't wait for that, mate.
Oh, Sean can't wait to meet Raj. She's bringing the adoption forms.
Is she coming down? Is she?
Yeah. She's most looking forward to meeting you, Geoff, Jason, and Chris.
Oh, that's good news. In what order then? I don't want to know what order.
Have you all got tickets then?
We'll have to discuss this after the thing. No, I haven't. I've got to join the Arsenal Purple membership thing, which can cost me about 40, 50 quid, and then try and apply for tickets. Then they'll only give me 2 tickets, and I need 3 because, I might be able to get a ticket for... But either Ren is going to drive, who hates football, or Lee, who's a Spurs season ticket holder, is going to drive.
Stick him outside in the cafe.
He said he wants to wear his Spurs shirt. I said, good luck, Lee.
Yeah, I've got to sort Jason and Aussie Dom out, I think.
Yeah. Of course, she wants to meet Aussie Dom, but that's obvious. That's why we're all meeting up.
Yeah.
So, but if I get a purple ticket thing, then I might be coming to more games this season to get some people to take me.
Hope so.
Yeah. Well, I got that new electric chair. I got it September last year. I've sat in it, been out in it once, and it's uncomfortable on my arse. So they've got to give me a new cushion.
Can we go back to Ellis Mail? Because it's a bit
Yes.
disappointing that you haven't asked his question.
Okay, right. He says, which Arsenal player, current or previous, would you like to host your stag do, and how would they do it? My one, well, I'm never going to get married. I'm opposed to it. It would be Lucas Podolski, or he'd just sit around all night eating sausages.
Mine's crazy one. Then I've just come up with it.
Go
A
on
buoy. I'd love it. It'd just be comic genius. If
People come up to you and go, money hits here, Billy.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know. I've always had a soft spot for Bowie. I know he wasn't the greatest player ever for Arsenal, but I just enjoyed him being in the team. I know it was a bit slapstick sometimes and stuff like that. And one of the saddest things I saw was that Birmingham game, wasn't it, when he got substituted twice, or came on and got substituted, and he was in tears when he came off. That broke my heart, I've got to say, because the crowd was so... I mean, yeah, he didn't have the greatest game, and he was giving the ball away left, right and centre, but... To barrack your own player at your own home ground. I mean, my God, you know, if you get, it was awful. It was awful. I felt for him, and ever since then, I liked him. You know, not as a player, just as a person, I liked him. So yeah, he'd be on my stag party. Wenger
took him off for his own good, mate, didn't he? You know.
Yeah. I'm not disputing the fact that he got taken off, but if this is your own home ground, you're getting paid, and this is your home fans giving you a hard time.
Yeah,
and he had a nightmare. No denying it. I could still remember the passing. The passing was horrendous.
It's rushing,
wasn't he? It's just terrible. Yeah, but he was panicking.
Yeah.
And even his teammates. Didn't Nicky Bentner put his arm around him or something as he came off?
You know, someone did it when he consoles you.
Oh no, exactly. It was horrendous. It was one of the most horrendous things I've seen. And I just fucking hated the Arsenal fans that night, I've got to say. But he's lovely guy, lovely lad, I thought. And yeah, he'd be one of the first people I'd invite.
So me, it would be Ray Parlour, different class, mate.
There'd be someone hospitalised after that, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've been out of him 2 or 3 times in the past in his company, and I don't drink, so I never got on it or anything like that. But just a fun guy, different class, mate, and you'd have a right ball.
Well, there you go. That's a good question, Ellis. Final question.
Very good question.
This is from Hayden. He says, with Alexis and Koscielny scheduled to perhaps be back in the starting 11 on Sunday, are you positive for the game despite the loss on Saturday? Raj, what do you think?
2-0 first scorer for Mino.
Bloody hell, you give me your... because what was your Stoke prediction?
2-1 to Stoke.
And no one else picked it.
Nah. I got zero expectations. I can go through all this stuff now. I might even win this prediction league.
You've come close a couple of times, haven't you?
Yeah. When I was really, really negative, I got loads of right. I wish I'd been really negative. Last year was one of my more positive seasons.
You were in the lead for a while.
I actually thought we were going to win the league in November. Because I think we went like 13, 14 games without losing or something. And I kept forgetting. I forgot that we'd go through a slump in February, March. So it all went tits up. So if I'd just been completely negative, I would have pissed that prediction league last year.
So do you
what was the question again, Dan?
With Sanchez and Koscielny possibly back in the starting 11 on Sunday, are you more positive despite what happened on Saturday? And then you can give me your prediction at the same time.
Yeah, I am positive.
You're always positive. You're positive, Geoff.
I think I'm hoping we can go and get something up there. A defeat would be it'd be hard to take, won't it? Again, 2 defeats on the trot out of 3 games. It's not a good start. So hopefully no one's going to believe in us and we go out there and nick something.
Prediction?
Yeah.
2-1 Giroud.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Oh, Desmond, I've gone for a 2-2.
I think Liverpool score first.
Who's going to be what's it, goal scorer?
Jimmy Case.
Excellent.
I don't know. Who shall we say? Coutinho. Normally, I'll tell you what he'll do. I'll tell you how he'll score it. He'll cut inside from the left-hand side and whip one round Petr Cech. Or they mostly get a deflection on the way. So I'll see how that shapes up.
And FK, what's your prediction?
3-0 to Liverpool.
Oh, no, FK.
3-0 to Arsenal. 3-0 to Arsenal.
Well, 3-0 to everyone.
3-0 to Arsenal, and then Arsene's going to come home and suck me off.
Oh my God!
I don't know who that was, but if FK hears that, he is not going to be happy. He'll laugh, but luckily we have no idea who that was who just broke into our Skype call. Bastards.
Who was that anyway? Was that DT again?
I think it probably was. Not what they're like. Right, so we've the Arsenal reserve game finished 4-3. We won that. We are now top of the league. Played 2-1-2. Top goal scorers, 7 goals in 2 games. Reece Nelson now has 4 goals in 2 games. Eddie Nikita, whose name I am never ever going to get right, he has now got 3 goals in 2 games. Oh, I'll tell you what, let them play on Sunday.
Actually, I've got a question for Danny.
Go on in.
Because me and Geoff have kind of answered, what our kind of hopes are for the season, but we didn't actually ask you that question. So what are your hopes? What are your expectations? How have you set yourself up mentally for this season?
I start every season with a clean sheet for every single player. And I think, well...
Yeah, but what are your hopes at the start of this season? What were your hopes?
I kind of hope that we do... I have different ways of looking at it. I kind of hope we fail miserably and get Wenger out. But then I'd kind of hope that we get Kroenke out. And neither of those things are going to happen. So... I'd like to win the FA Cup again. I'd like to win the Europa League and maybe finish. I don't want to finish in the top 4. I don't hate Champions League football. I like playing new teams in the Europa League. Saying that, we could meet the likes of AC Milan and Ajax, and I think Ajax are now in it. I can't remember. Yeah, so I think a couple of cups, that would be good. Good way to build, because we're never going to win the Premier League. League Cup, Wenger won't take seriously. We'll get knocked out by Bradford again or something like that in our second or third game. Because most of our players will go out on loan. Because 2 more players have gone out on loan today. Jenkinson and Bramall have both gone to Birmingham City on loan.
Yep.
Both of their contracts are up at the end of this season, so I think that's a.
What about Chaka? Was he gone anywhere yet?
No, he's done fuck all. He was at Brighton last season, who were runners up in the Championship. I think he played about 16 games, something like that. But most of them, he coming on for the last 5-10 minutes, didn't score a single goal, didn't really get much of a chance. But yeah, he's had a couple of loans now. The season before that, I think he was at, was it Wolves he was at or someone like that? He did bugger all there. I think his time is done. He'll end up being loaned out until his contract is up, and then especially when you've got the likes of Malin, Nikita, Reece Nelson, all them lot coming through, you're not going to have someone like Chupa Chupa. I don't even know if Chupa Chupa played tonight. I don't think he did. He wasn't even on the bench.
No. Raj, that's what I'm going to ask you. The Europa League, how do you want to attack that? Do you think we're going to have a go at it? Or
I think we should try and win it. Yeah, I think it's a competition that we should try and win. It's a new competition as well. So you might find that... a lot of people go, no, I'm not going to go and all that, but I reckon the stadium could be quite rocking, especially if they're careful with the ticket prices and maybe knock them down a bit like the League Cup, and get that stadium full. You never know, you might get a good atmosphere. I'll tell you one thing though, Geoff, just changing the subject a little bit. Leicester was the first time at the start of the atmosphere was amazing, wasn't it?
Wow, honest to God. Wow.
And it was probably the Friday night thing. I tell you what, Friday night, I love it.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
You got the whole weekend to yourself. I know it might be a bit of a pain in the arse to away fans and stuff, but I love Friday night football. And usually August games at home, there's plenty of empty seats. Most people are on holidays or can't be bothered because the sun's out and everything. But Friday night it was full. I don't think there were that many empty seats at all, and the atmosphere was pretty fucking good. I thought it was really good. So with the Europa League, maybe market it a bit like the League Cup, and maybe have tenors for kids and all that kind of stuff, and fill it up because it's not going to be the biggest, most attractive kind of game that people want to go to. So just fill it up with kids and stuff like that and get an atmosphere going and try and win it. I do hear that Arsene Wenger doesn't really rate it and he's going to put second string out and stuff, but hopefully he puts out strong enough teams to get to the latter stages. I know it's a shitload of games to play, but it's a competition. It's a new competition. It might be really fun to be part of.
We should have enough of a squad, shouldn't we, to get us through the early rounds, and then when we get into the later rounds, hopefully we do. We can strengthen it a little bit as you go along. He's got to be
careful because we're playing Thursday, and for instance, the first game we're playing is obviously a Thursday, and then we've got Chelsea away on the Sunday, so he's going to have to be clever about who he picks and stuff like that. But you're right. We have got a second string, but hopefully the second string is good enough to play against some of these smaller teams in the early rounds. But I'm quite excited about it, and I think I used to be that arrogant twat who used to go, "Oh, fuck that, I'm not going to go Europa League. It's a Thursday night." But speaking to my mate John, I thought, well, actually, we'll just turn up again, have a laugh.
Like the old days.
Never know.
I'm embracing it, mate. I really am.
Hope, hand on heart, I hope the club think about this carefully, not worry about gate income, and actually do something with the prices. Don't worry about European prices on this one.
Sell it out, mate. That's what you got to do.
Sell it out. Yeah. 20 quid, 10 quid to kids, 25 quid or whatever to adults, and you'll sell it out, and it might get a good atmosphere going.
Are they allowed to reduce the prices out, Raj? Because obviously you've got season ticket holders that have paid.
I didn't think about that. I've got no idea. But if there was a way of keeping the prices down, surely they can do. But although it depends on whether the away team gives them permission. These small clubs, these tiny little clubs from Albania and stuff like that, they need that share of the gate receipts, don't they? I suppose.
Do they get the gate receipts? Do they get a share of the gate receipts?
I don't think we do.
Surely UEFA don't take all the money.
No, I think the clubs take it at home, don't they? They get their home legs, I think, as far as I know.
They've got to do something. They've got to do something to get the crowd in. We don't want 30,000, 40,000 people there because no one's interested. And if there's a way of getting all the kids in and fill your boots, that's what we should do.
Me too, yeah, true.
How about the teams that are in it? We have got Villarreal, Real Sociedad, FC. I don't know. I'll tell you. I'll have a look for that in a second. You've got Cologne, Hertha Berlin, Atalanta, Lazio. That one didn't matter about. Lyon.
Yeah, but we can't get half of them, can we?
Yeah, I'm just saying, though. These are the ones that are in it. Lokomotiv Moscow, Vitesse Arnhem, Lugano. And then from the other ones that are going to make it through, you've got Rosenborg, which is Bentner's team. Ajax are still in it. Dynamo Kiev. And then you've got some other big ones like Everton, AC Milan, Marseille, Zenit St. Petersburg and Bordeaux. Fenerbahce, Van Persie's team are 2-0 down after the first leg. Sparta Prague, which I think is Rosicky still at Sparta Prague. I know he went back to one of his Czech teams. And the draw, see if I can find the draw here.
This Friday, actually.
I know it's quite soon.
Yeah. We've got to be installed as one of the 2 or 3 favourites, haven't we? Surely.
As an AC Milan.
Possibly, but we've got to put the teams out, Geoff. You can't just put under 21s, under 23s in there and stuff. You've got to put some class out there as well to try and win these games. Yeah, but I do hope we make an effort and not just write it off because I don't think it's good for the club if we do that anyway.
I hope the attitude. Sorry, I hope the attitude of the players reflects that they want to do something in it, rather than just going out there and thinking, "Oh, okay, we put a scratch team out."
You do get a Champions League spot if you win it. So, and I do think it's a hard competition to win though, because of the number of games you've got to play.
15 or 16, I think it is. Thomas Rosicky is still at Sparta Prague, so we could get his team. He's played 2 games this season. He played 1 in the whole of last season, and 1 in the season before that for us. But as for the draw, I've not found out when the draw is yet.
It's either this Friday or the Friday after.
Europa League draw. Let's have a look. Are you going to say?
You'll be there, Geoff, won't you?
I definitely will be there, mate, for sure.
4th of August is the
whole road to ourselves.
I'll do a few aways as well if there's new teams that we haven't been before.
1 o'clock this Friday.
There you go.
Yes.
I look forward to that.
Central European time.
Got to embrace it, Danny boy. Got to embrace it.
I will do. I love it. I love the idea. I just want to get some real shit teams that we're going to bang 8 or 9 in. Like AC Milan, I got some team from Macedonia. They smashed them 6-0. But AC Milan have spent at least £250 million on players this summer.
Really?
Marseille,
they've spent a load of money.
Spending a fortune. Ajax have been decimated. They've had about 5 or 6 of their best players to go. I think there's going to be 5 or 6 real hard teams in there. I mean, Van Persie's Fenerbahce being 2-0 down to another Macedonia. I think it's Macedonian. Vardar. Yeah, did he play in it? No, he didn't. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, so hopefully he will his ass kicked. That would be nice. They're going to be nice to see Van Persie coming back. 34 years old, probably now on about 50 grand a week compared to the 230 grand a week he left for us. So what other things we've been going now for? 1 hour and 22 minutes. See?
Oh, it's a long time.
It is a long time. There's someone's.
You got any more questions? Do one more question.
Oh, that's all the questions there was. Yeah.
Do you reckon our listeners would have liked this pod? Because we've just been bullshitting for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, I think that's the best way.
Geoff's been talking bollocks for 90 minutes.
Oh, 90 minutes. Nothing changes, Raj. Nothing changes,
Nothing
mate.
changes. That was good fun. We should do it more often.
Yeah.
Gimli will be back next week. Fife is off on his world travels. I think he's off to Holland, and then he's off to. I thought it's South Africa, but it's South America. He'll be gone.
No, he's going to Holland, and I think he's going to be smoking a big joint in Amsterdam, don't you?
No, I mean after that, I think he said he's going to South America. So I expect to get a ransom note from some
there
South American Arsenal podcast. No, he's at home. I think he goes tomorrow.
Yeah, I fancy he's partial to a big mad joint in Amsterdam, don't you? He looks like a right straight guy. I bet he turns a different colour, mate. Don't worry about that.
I bet he'll be dancing on the spot like a techno freak, like one of those techno goths.
God bless him.
Oh, bless them, techno goths. Right, well, there you go. We've done 1 hour, 120 minutes. We've done 1 hour, 20 minutes. I think if no one has anything else to say, we should probably wrap this up and go.
What's this about music? You can't do music anymore.
Yeah, like on YouTube, if you have music on there, then they will do a copyright strike on you, and then they'll claim. We've got 270 videos, I think, on YouTube. And of those, 3 of them, people have done copyright things on where they just get all the money from it. As we don't make any money from YouTube. I think sometimes we make about $2 or $3 a month because you have to have a certain amount of adverts on there. So those you can't turn off. That's how YouTube make their money. And so, they've started now checking SoundCloud. And so one of our ones is the song N-Words in Paris. I don't know why we picked that, but I didn't pick it. Someone else picked it. So the owner of that song has claimed it, and that podcast was, I think, pod 146, I think, or 106, and that's been removed from SoundCloud. We've had a strike, 2 more strikes, and they ban our account. But
why don't we ask all our listeners to go and look for some unsigned bands and get them to put a track in?
Even then,
we'll play their track.
Even then, still other people. Well, there's a thing on YouTube where people just go around and claim they have the rights to any kind of music they hear, and then you have to prove that they can't have it, which is why YouTube is currently on its arse.
Raj.
There's one bloke who I follow who has a computer gaming channel. He's had over 100 of his videos demonetized for no reason, and you can't even appeal it.
Raj.
So YouTube is being arseholes.
Yeah.
You're the manager of the Bootleg Beatles. I'm sure that you could rustle up a tune from somewhere that we're allowed to put on, no? Huh?
Yeah, probably.
Well, think about it. And while we're on...
Put one of your mixes up, Geoff.
Where are the... Oh, you imagine they'll take the piss out of me.
They'll scan it and see if they recognise any of it, and they'll just claim it as their own.
While we're on, though, Raj, where are the boys playing? They're playing away this weekend or something, the Bootleg Beatles?
Hastings Pier, supporting Ocean Colour Scene. We've had a good summer, actually. Did Glastonbury Pyramid Stage. That was amazing with Foo Fighters. So
did good.
And I'll tell you what, if anyone hasn't seen the Bootleg Beatles, you've got to go and see them. I'm not fanning just because it's Raj's band and everything else, but what a good night, mate.
Did you enjoy the Albert Hall?
Different class, mate. Loved it. Honestly, I loved it. I've been to see them 3 or 4 times, and I enjoy them. Really do enjoy them. It's a great night.
Maybe we'll offer some tickets for a competition at some point.
That's a great shout, mate. Honestly.
Okay. And I was watching something to do with classic cars and classic touring cars, and it came up during the break that after the break will be the Beatles, and there you were.
We did the Silverstone Classics 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
I only watched that for the old classic touring cars.
Yeah,
getting around.
Yeah, we'll be live on Sky Arts in 2 weeks' time, doing the Festival 6. Yeah.
Will you be at a streak, or will you be at a go past with a big banner saying Wenger out?
So shall I put a Bergkamp Wonderland thing up on there somewhere?
Yeah, do it over the front of the drum kit.
ABW on the drum kit, yeah. Should I do that? Yeah.
Make them all wear Arsenal kits.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one's a Newcastle fan, one's Aston Villa.
Everton, the Everton fans still there?
One's Gloucester FC, and the other one is Nottingham Forest. So got no chance of getting an Arsenal one up there.
Yeah. Oh, sad times. Right, gents. Anything else you'd like to say before we close this?
Fuck off.
No, good. It was good. Good to be back on for a while.
He's got potty mouth, Raj, hasn't he, Geoff?
That's it.
He's got all potty.
I've changed. You said I've changed this year. This is no me.
Doesn't sound like it's for the better. That's the dog, Geoff.
Woof woof.
Hey, good to hear. Right then, thank you very much, Raj.
Always good. I'm around if you need me.
Yep, lovely. Thank you very much, Geoff.
It's always a pleasure, sir. Thanks for having me.
Cheers for joining us again, FK.
Yeah, thank you. I've just got arse's cock in my mouth, so hold on a sec.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that bit. I think I'll bleep that bit out.
And you're worried about copyright issues.
Oh dear. Anyway, people,
Leave
thank
it
you
in,
very
for
much for
God's sake.
listening.
No one cares.
No,
Everyone
you don't
relax.
care.
Everyone just relax.
Okay,
Enjoy the
football.
next 36
Stuff like
games,
that.
win or lose. Just don't worry about it. It's only football in the end, isn't it? Go on.
And if anyone is going to be around the game on the 9th of September, Raj is only charging £25 a hug, £10 a handshake.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you pay him in Ferrero Rochers, he'll do whatever you want.
£20 a hand shandy as well. Apparently.
Oh, here we go. Oh, it's gone downhill. I think we should end it now. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. This has been a Bergkamp Wonderland and Arsenal podcast. We will see you after the Liverpool game live on YouTube. I'll be hosting, so no doubt it'll be another car crash. Nanu, cheeky monkeys, get down, dogs, and all that other shit we usually say. Goodbye. And here's some of the usual chit-chat from before the podcast.
You're a bit faint now. He's a bit faint.
What do you mean? Better?
Oh, there you go. That's better. Oh, hold on. He's gone again.
Pull my microphone closer. 1 second.
Oops. Getting all romantic with his microphone.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that better or not?
That's perfect.
Good. What's that message? The last message you sent me, Geoff?
Yeah.
Try now, fuckface. What does that mean?
Try now, fuckface. Because I turned myself on, didn't I? I found a way.
You don't even use foul language, Geoff. I feel.
No, I've noticed he swears a lot more on podcasts now. It's a bit of a disappointment, really. Even
on
Dave
the
the other week. Oh, blimey.
On the podcasts?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I noticed.
I used to swear. I used to swear.
No, but not as much as you do now.
Oh, well.
His standards have dropped, like Wenger. It's all gone wonky.
Shall we start?
Yes.
Since we're only having a chat, we can just start, can't we? But we're doing some questions.
Yeah, I've got a few questions.
Give them all to Geoff.
Yeah. I don't know. I know nothing. Are we going to get any eclipse here, do you think? I mean, even a partial bit.
Can't see nothing.
2080. 2080 is our next eclipse in this country.
I'll be around then. I'll be 110.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I was here for the last one. I think the last one was 98. We were out the fun with Sean.
2019, South America.
Oh,
where's the one now? It's in America, isn't it? Somewhere?
Yeah,
yep.
In Oregon.
Oregon.
You're watching this 23's game?
No, I'm
not. I know Jack is starting, as is Bielik and Holding.
A 3-1 up.
We're not.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, we are. Hadn't refreshed the page. Oh, look at that. Reece Nelson, Eddie Nikita has got 2. Jack Wilshere assist. Fucking smashed in them.
Yeah, I'm watching it. Good.
Where are you watching it?
It's on Arsenal Player. You know the website. It's free, yeah. I think.
Free?
Yeah.
Jeez, surely they can make an angle on that to make some money. Don't turn down a shekel.
Yeah, I think you might even need a membership to get into log in. You know what they like, the type bastards.
Is there an agenda tonight?
Always.
Just fire away, man.
Yeah.
There's plenty to talk about with Stoke.
Well, Geoff could start with Stoke. I didn't watch much of it. I was umpiring still, so.
Did you take any backhanders for letting them away with offside wickets?
That's my kind of posh life. That is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it, Raj? You love it, don't you?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, good
Got
stuff.
one more game. I think I'm away this weekend with the band, and then I'll do my last game of the season the week after.
You're still touring?
Yeah, we're doing Hastings Pier with Ocean Colour Scene on Saturday, and then going off to Lisbon next Sunday.
Oh, that'd be good, Ocean Colour Scene, mate.
Yeah, they're doing the whole of Moseley Shoals.
No.
So.
Oh, that'd be bang on. You'll watch that anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've got 2 spare tickets if you want to come down. Bring your daughter or something if you want to come down today.
I'm in Portugal from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning for a week.
Where? What part of Portugal?
Go to Albufeira.
We're in Cascais on next Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking home, innit I? Oh, hold on. When I come back now, I'll come back on Saturday.
Oh, right, okay. Go on then, Danny.
Yes.
I haven't got much to say about anything, really.
Yeah, we'll chat. We'll just bust in, mate. We'll have a little row, won't we, and all that. We'll do whatever. We'll crack away, mate.
It's a new Raj. The new Raj is just totally relaxed about shit now. So
well, that's the way to be. It's the same as me, mate. You just got to be relaxed. Don't expect nothing.
Oh, that's my motto at the moment. 0 expectations.
That's it. It's what I do every single season, mate.
And we're struggling to
I
make
don't.
that.
It's the first time I've ever done it. I've never felt so good in my life.
Liberating, isn't it?
It is liberating.
Honestly, you've only got.
Why don't we hold on before we talk about? Why don't we talk about that on the podcast?
Good shout.
Because I think there's a lot of people there with indifference and not really worried about stuff anymore.
Yeah, talk about Sanchez as well. The transfer bollocks that's going on. You know what I mean? We might. There's a lot. I was speaking to a lot of people yesterday.
Just make it flow and hand it off and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Go on.
Right. So what number are we up to? 4. So I started it at 4. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome. And here's a little bit of chit chat, political stuff if you want, that we did after the podcast. Oh, Raj, you are a naughty man. Nanu, cheeky monkeys, get down, dogs, and all that other shit we usually say. Goodbye. There you go. It's all done.
Oh, enjoy that.
Don't edit it out. Just leave it in.
Okay. No, on your head be it.
I don't give a shit. Honestly, this season, all I'm going to do, Geoff will see this. I'm just going to retweet and have a laugh. Yeah. And if anyone to retweet something funny, I'll just retweet it. Yeah. I'm not going to stir anything up. I'm not going to that's what I'm trying to do. I mean, maybe I might have an off day or something. You might
break out every now and again, but that's allowable.
Fake news? Are you doing any fake news?
I'm going to do a lot of hashtag fake news as well. Oh. Yeah. I've been obsessed with Trump for the last 6 months. I've been watching CNN non-stop 6 months
Fox.
now.
The entertainment value is unbelievable, isn't it?
Unbelievable. I mean, this bloke is... I mean, that Charlottesville stuff was unbelievable. And everyone's too scared to do anything. The government...
He put in a tweet, he put, we will heal, H-E-E-L, and we will all heal, H-E-A-L, together. He spelled the same word wrong, 2 different spellings in the same thing. Do you see that? There was, every year there's that, I think it's a Pulitzer Prize or something, and there was a picture of a black policeman all muscled up and tattoos, and he was guarding a load of white supremacists behind the bar, behind a little
seen
fence,
that photograph.
All dressed in a Ku Klux Klan thing, and I thought, well, fucking hell, at least the human race has evolved a little bit. He's having to protect everyone else from them.
Yeah.
I mean, the arseholes from all the normal people.
He's on live on TV at 2:00 this morning. He's doing a public address, an address to the nation tonight. And you just wonder whether he's going to go off the rails again, like he did last Tuesday, which was the most amazing TV I've seen in a long time.
He sacked someone. They hire them and sack them at the same time.
Well, he's sacked the 7 of them now. He's sacked 7 people.
We know when he came in, there's a whole load of positions that he was meant to have appointed, and he still hasn't appointed hundreds of positions.
He hasn't, and people say he's going to resign. A lot of people think he'll just resign and try and turn it into a victory. Yeah. But it's just a mess, and you just think, God, this is no one
powerful country in the world, and they're just falling apart, aren't they?
But what they need to do is just say, "Oi, Barack, are you busy for the next 3.5 years? Job's yours, son. Come on."
But Obama's pissing himself.
He must be absolutely.
His approval rating post presidency has gone through the roof.
It usually is rock bottom.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, let us go and watch the last 15 minutes of this football.
Yeah, I'm off. Yeah.
Come on, Evan.
God bless, boys.
Cheers, Danny. I'm off as well. See you later.
See you both later. Bye.
Bye.